Assalamu alaikum dear learners. Today we are having our class 12th and our topic today is environment and natural resources. Also we will discuss the contemporary global issues related to the environment. Dear students, in the previous classes we have gone through the various chapters. In the previous classes we have gone through the solar system. As we know, the sun, which is surrounded by or which has been orbited by or which is surrounded by several planets like Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and sometimes we were believing that there is the ninth planet which is known as Pluto. Among these 9 planets, we are having the only one planet where the human life is being existed. The Earth has the congenial atmosphere, it has the congenial environment which allows it to survive the human life on it. This is because of certain factors. This is the furnace from the sunlight. This is the availability of the water resources. There is the availability of the fresh airs. There is the existence of such gases which allows the sustaining of the human life. The Earth has its environment. Let's first of all know what the environment is. The environment, by environment we mean all that which is around a living creature, whether it is the land, whether it is the rocks, whether it is the water bodies like seas, oceans, springs, rivers, etc., or whether these are the biotic or the abiotic things, or whether these are the other things which are essential for the survival of a creature. So all that, whether that is needed to a creature or not, but whether it is living or that is non-living, but is needed, but is surrounding the space around the creature, we call that this is the environment of that creature. This environment has the environment around the man or the human being is largely come to the point of focus in the eyes of those thinkers who think that these things which were once in the bulk have now got reduced or have now got polluted. For example, here we will discuss some certain issues which has arose around the globe at the global level, which are needed, which the environmentalists think that their increase or their depletion will lead to the human life to the deterioration. The first issue we will discuss here is the barrenness of the agricultural land. The barrenness of the agricultural land means the human beings need food, shelter, clothes to live. All that, whether it's food, whether these are clothes, whether it is shelter, it is its environment. Once he need any kind of, for example, if a person is in need of the agricultural land, what he does, he go for the deforestation there, or he go to cultivate that land. When land is being cultivated, it loses the fertility. Once this year we will go to sow seeds in a particular piece of land, the next year this land will be not so much fertilized or so much fertile as it was this year. So it loses its fertility. Likewise, the human needs arise. Human beings need food to live. They need cattle, they need poultry, they need animals in order to take their flesh, in order to eat them, to maintain the ecosystem. Here he needs the cattle. The cattle are going to overgraze around him. To overgraze, when the area is being overgrazed, it loses its fertility. The man living near the water bodies go for harvesting of the fish. Once he harvests the fish is day by day declining. So what happens here? The man uses various means and various tools, apply various technologies in order to get more. He uses fertilizers, he uses some medicines in order to get these fishes harvested. He uses fertilizers in order to have more and more crops in his fields. As such, this has depleted, the water bodies are getting polluted, as well as the grassland or the agricultural land loses its fertility. Now the thinkers are thinking that the man needs more and more cultivable land. As such, the man proceeds towards the forest areas. As such, the man goes towards the water bodies in order to decline them, or in order to get the deforestation, in order to have more and more land available to him, in order to create, in order to provide his needs to himself. Another thing what we have here is the water pollution. According to a survey done in the year 2006, it's believed that 1.2 billion people on the 1.2 billion people on the globe do not have access to the proper sanitation. As such, what it has called, it has directly harmed to the health and the hygiene of the persons, which has resulted into the death of 3 million people, 3 million children, or 3 million people per year. So this is another concern what the scholars, what the environmentalists think about this. This is the problem which has arisen within the global era. Likewise, we are having another cause is the deforestation. The man who lives here, he needs the food, he needs the shelter, he goes for cutting down the trees, he goes for the deforestation. We know that natural forests are responsible for stabilizing the environment, for stabilizing the climate, for stabilizing the majority, which is the harbor of the majority of the planet. And these water resources has this land, the land which has been brought into the use loses its biodiversity due to the cut down of the trees or the deforestation, and the people are compelled to go to make the displacement from one place to another place. Likewise, deforestation compels the other habitats also, which are rich in the species which are living within the forests, to have the migration from one place to another place, which is also another concern at the global level. Likewise, we are having the depletion of the ozone layer. We know that the sun, which is afar from us, but its rays are coming directly to us due to its harmful rays, due to its those rays which are harmful, which can cause cancer to the human skin or the human bodies. So the ozone layer, which has badly affected the Earth's stratosphere, which is directly related as the ozone hole. This ozone hole is nowadays being has expanded to a larger extent, and these harmful rays are getting through this hole, which has also caused the global temperature has raised to a larger extent. Nowadays we are seeing there are untimely rains, and there are the Earth's atmosphere or the Earth's temperature has arisen to the larger extent, which is extremely dangerous for the human survival. Likewise, we are having the coastal pollution. We know that although the waters within the open rivers is being claimed that these are the clean, but the coastal areas which are harbored, which are being used by the man for various, or which are based on the land-based activities. So these land-based activities directly get this coastal area more and more polluted, which has resulted into the dangerousness of this marine life. The marine life is also at the stake. So if it remains unchecked, it will once, mm, it will once have the destruction. It will once have the bad results on the human surveillance as well as on the marine life. Likewise, we are having another thing, which is the another global concern nowadays, is that the melting of the glacier. The melting of the glacier is that we know that the most of the Earth's region, whether it is North Pole or whether it is South Pole, the North Pole and the South Pole, which is surrounded by the snows, which is surrounded where there is not direct lights on it, where there is not on the Earth's rays of the sun do not harm freezed areas. As such, nowadays, when there is the hike, when there is the high temperature on the Earth's space, which has resulted that these glaciers are melting day by day, which has spread the oceans, which has spread the rivers, which has spread the water bodies. Also, the most of the land which was under these snow cover has got barked. As such, the people are moving towards these areas. As such, this ozone layer, the water bodies are these water bodies are day by day depleting, as well as the land available to the man is also getting depleted. The another cause, the another thing what we say is the expansion in the population. In next video we shall discuss the other measures also. Today it is today we will come to an end with the message that environment is our concern. We should think largely. The sustainable development is only then possible when we will care for our future. Our future believes only in the sustainable development. With these words, it is the end of today's topic. In next video we should discuss the other things also. Thank you.